I love this idea of the conversation and the interaction and the networking and the relationships, that are shaped and formed. And like Greg mentioned, it's like I feel like I've known him for years. Like I feel like I've known him my whole life, and it's just an amazing piece. I mean, even the opportunity to connect with you, Val, is just like amazing. I love the element of the high level talks and the free form, and that's really, I think, my world, in the space of pastoring that I fall into is just being what we would call in our arenas, being spirit led, like letting God move us. Like, what would you have us to say? I'm all about preparation. I'm all about being prepared, and I try to do my best and set aside time as a pastor to prepare a sermon. But I think the key to if you want to say success, I don't even know if I like to use that word in my space as a pastor, but helping people move towards God and understand the values of who God is in our lives. Um, is really just built on relationships and finding that common thread that I think secures a relationship. I think one of the funny things about um, me and Greg is he just kind of found a space, and all right, we're talking, and then somehow football come up, and he's like a Seahawks fan and I'm a 49er fan, and we're like talking, and we're not necessarily talking spirituality. We're not talking Jesus. We're not talking God. We're just trying to find a common space where we land as two human beings. And next thing you know, we're talking about, man, the Seahawks playing the 49ers. And we start talking that conversation. And next thing we know, we're like, well, you know what? Man, if the Seahawks and the 49ers make the playoffs, then we're going to go and we're going to watch the game together. And next thing you know, last night we're sitting there watching the game. Detroit's got to beat Green Bay, and next thing you know, Detroit comes out of nowhere, beats Green Bay in Lambeau Field, and guess what? Seahawks and 49ers are playing in the playoffs. I said, well, Greg, it's got to be a Saturday because Sundays I got to be in church. Well, guess what? They're playing on a Saturday. And so me and Greg are supposed to be in the stands in Seattle. Now, I've got one